Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and I'm on my way to a city that's 3 cities south out here in Utah. All the cities are squished together, so it's 15 minutes away. All I know is I'm looking at a school bus. Dude, I don't even know if they told me what year it is. I have no idea how long it hasn't been running. I don't know if they parked it years ago, if it's in a field, or if it was running last week. It might need a new battery. I have no idea. I'm just charging them for a diagnosis call out. So we're headed down there to do everything we can in one visit. You know, if I can't do anything because it's got a completely dead battery, we'll have to see. Anyways, just a few miles from my exit here, so when I get there, I'll show you the school bus and everything.
3 miles,
but I'm gonna
take exit 257BA onto US 6 East toward Price.
I'm gonna get everything set up, and I'll check back in when I'm there. All right. Oh, not much to set up. I'm crawling under here to look at the starter. Here it is. It does look new. They said they thought they just replaced it. I just rolled up and they were like, let me show you. And it just sounds like the starter's winding up, but the solenoid's not kicking it out. So I'm gonna tap on it in a minute, but let me show you what it sounds like right now. And that definitely looks new. The alternator's new also, because they first pointed the alternator out. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna replace your starter, but so I got caught up, didn't even ask him who did the replacement. Let me see if I can get it running, but it's gonna need a new solenoid. That starter's gotta be replaced, I think. I'll check the wiring and stuff, but let's listen to it. Right there. Just gotta figure out what it was first. That's easy to get to at least. But I'll tell you what wasn't easy to get to was this bus. It took me 10 minutes to find it. It's because the street on Apple Maps doesn't know there's a cul-de-sac here. Okay, they just hooked up the battery, so that's nice that it was disconnected. How are you supposed to drive the bus wearing sitting in that? I don't know. A little sketchy. Whoa, what's this? Jeez. Okay. Yeah, you hear that? Just winding up. So, I don't know. Don't know. Let me ask him who did the replacement. All right, so let's check the wiring. They said a buddy did the installation, and they're like, so obviously people always think that's the problem, but I told them I don't think that's the problem. Well, it might be. I don't know what's supposed to be on that. I'm gonna pull it out anyways. I guess there's a couple of different, maybe those are just grounds. Yeah, I don't know. They left this loose too. Maybe they hooked it up wrong. Let me knock on it. I'm gonna bonk on it and see if it'll engage. That'll tell me for sure. Or I'll ask him if it was working, or if it has not worked since the starter's been replaced. Get it up here. There we go. All right, that's all I can do by myself. I told him it's gonna need a bench test to be sure. Sounds like the starter they're gonna take it in, but whoever got it should have a warranty, so let's do this again. Well, it doesn't want to wind up that time, so maybe it's engaging. Let's go put a jump box on it. Where am I going? Gotta put this on first. I was zoned out. Ready? Ready to shreddy. This would be nice to just crank her up and know for sure it's that starter. Not sure though what's going on. Oh yeah. Let me override my jump box. Alright, just hit boost on that jump box. Hopefully that's the issue. Now she just wound up again. Okay, my concern is now, which doesn't make much sense. Well, that didn't make much sense what I just heard. Why it wouldn't wind up and then it did. That starter just needs to be tested. I'm gonna crank this over by hand. If it cranks over by hand, I'm gonna pull the starter out. Just wanna make sure that clicking wasn't it engaging and just not being able to turn the motor over, because I can't explain that. Why it clicked and then wound up at the end. This crank is deep. I don't know what kind of motor this is yet, but I don't know if we can even get to a bit. Let's see. Yeah, got the right size. How far that goes. Okay. I thought it was seized for a second. I didn't even start the camera. It's pretty hard to turn over, but it made like, I turned it over like, I'll move this for inch, like an inch, and it sounded like some metal on metal type sound, so let's listen together. For real this time. I don't know what that crusty sound is. You hear that? What is that? Got out of there fast. That was close. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that now. I turned it over a bunch of times and it was pretty hard the whole time. Building compression, I could hear it leaking. So I don't think there's any major engine problems, or at least that starter should turn it over. So I don't know if they got it hooked up wrong or what, but I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna go ahead and take the starter out. They said it did start a few times after it was replaced, because what I'm gonna do now is pull this starter out, and they're gonna get a replacement for it tonight, whoever bought it with the warranty. And I'm just gonna come back on a different trip and put it back in. All right, figure out what those are held in by. All right, well, I don't want to throw out. Got it. One of these is going in from the back. Couldn't figure that out. I was feeling all over up there. Looking down from the top, couldn't see anything. Never mind. I gotta come out. That's not gonna work. At least I can show you what I'm doing. Can't even use the back. It's too tight of a space. And it's pretty hard to be able to see anything without dirt falling in your eyes. I didn't bring any safety glasses under here, so just closing my eyes and feeling her. I'm trying to look through here. That's it though. Right there. Can you see it? Right there. Just gotta get that out. That scared me. I'm gonna go. And then grab my glove and pull it out from the front. Oh my gosh. Look at this. That was the crunching sound. What in the world? Why did that happen? Who knows? Maybe it was just a flaw in that piece, but it's definitely the starter. I've never seen that happen. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever seen that happen and what you think caused it. Yeah, it's got a seal on it that's all busted up in there. That's crazy. Tapping was not gonna do anything to that. Oh. Oh, that's a diagnosis. Well done. You can tell just by looking at it. All right. I'm gonna Cross my fingers that we don't have a bald spot on the flywheel, but I'm gonna crank over and look. Yeah, just crank it over a bunch of times. Okay, great news. It looks like that all over. Where's my light? There it is. Good news is the worst is kind of just like this all over. It kind of looks worse without the light on it. Scratching is what I'm saying. Just scratching. So we'll send those customers a picture. Get on out of here. Whew. I'm beat. All right. Good morning. It's a couple days later, and this thing took a couple days to get here. They thought it was from O'Reilly's. If I knew it was from AutoZone, I probably could have got it quicker, but already left by the time they knew it was from AutoZone. Okay, just gotta slide that back up in here, and hopefully this thing will get running. I don't know if that battery's completely dead or not, but I've got some jump boxes. What was I gonna say? Something else. Lines maybe, whatever. Oh, and they think it has some old gas because it hasn't ran in like 2 years. So alright, one bolt started and that's hanging now. Those other two in real quick and get the wires on. Be done. Okay, here we go. Everything's tightened up. Can you see it? Right there. Let's see if this will start, but I don't know. Old gas or whatever. So the day might not be over yet, but hopefully it is for this job. I guess I don't have to hit the clutch for it to start, but we'll see. Okay, well, turns over now, but still ain't starting. Let's get some starter fluid on it. Maybe we do. I can barely push that clutch in. All right, one crank's over though. All right, so I'm gonna do a little bit of testing here just to make sure, because I'm not getting it started. I'm not even getting it to fire up. It could be carburation issues, could be old gas issues, could be both old gas and the carburation. I'm gonna make sure it's not a spark issue because I'm not getting anything. So it's a little weird that I sprayed starter fluid in there and it didn't do anything, but if we got spark, then I'm gonna have to tell them it's a fuel issue. All right, got the spark tester set up right underneath the air pump. Let's go ahead and see what it'll do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and order a new distributor and just come back out here tomorrow. Hopefully it just needs the new distributor to get that spark. I'm gonna test it before I put it on. All right, so I'm out here taking apart the distributor at this point. I'm taking the cap off of this one to set it on top dead center on cylinder number 1. And this is gonna tell me, rather than hooking a compression tester up to that, since I'm already back here messing with all this stuff, figured I'd go for this method. So I'm gonna turn it over and get this pointed to where that would have been, right here. And then we'll go from there. All right, well, I've gotta find top dead center again. I wasn't planning on touching it, but I accidentally pushed the key too far. I was just putting it in the on position, so whatever. Okay, I've got the wires marked. We got voltage to the plug, so it's definitely a distributor problem at that point. So I'm gonna pop these wires off. I should be able to put them back on with this guide right here. And then I'll be able to get to that bottom piece, which, okay, big moment of truth. I'm gonna put a little bit of, let's put some brake fluid in there, give it a little bit extra fuel to start, and hopefully it's just this distributor. Oh, yeah. Seems like no sparks. Okay, I thought this was the throttle. It's the choke. So I got the choke closed. It does smell like gas in there, so that's just great news. That's so good because I don't want to deal with that carburetor. I'm worried that the throttle's not doing anything though, so I'm gonna film this and mash the throttle. It should be this right here. Let's take this off then. And just see what that does. Let's see what that did. Probably not much. All right, well, it's the 4th day back here at the bus. It's right in front of me. I've got a carburetor. Boy, was that an expensive carburetor. I didn't say anything to the customers about it being the most expensive carburetor I've ever heard of. Or, you know, yeah, literally, personally had to buy close to $1,000. I just told them what the price was and they said, sure, they need it done. So, crazy. That's pretty crazy. And then, of course, that leaves me just really contemplating whether or not I could rebuild that old carb. And I think I might be able to, but it's probably not something I could promise the customer. I don't know if I could do it right or not, or even in a good time frame. So I might keep the $100 core exchange myself and rebuild the carb and try and resell it. But I doubt there's even a big market for those that might not even resell. So probably just return it as a core. It is what it is. But what I didn't show last time was at the end, I would get some starting fluid on the filter, and when I turned it over, it would idle for like 2-3 seconds, and then it would die. So it was idling on the starter fluid. There was gas in the carb, but the gummed up throttle, the linkage, and all the mechanisms inside the carb were all gummed up as well. The gas isn't super old, but the gas in the carb, you know, might have done its thing if it had ethanol in it. I'm sure it did. I can pull the bowl off before we return it, but let's do it. I gotta go pull it out. I'm just kind of low on motivation. All right, I'll see you when I get out there, probably 5-10 minutes. I'm not sure what that's for, but jeez. There it is. It's $100 core. I think those are the bowls, so we'll see how nasty those look later. That though, that looks pretty clean. That's good. Now what? Timing probably or something. Not bad though, not bad. Alright, I just had it idling and then a big old fireball shot out of here after it died. I couldn't keep it idling, but I didn't use any starter fluid, so there's a bunch of crinkling, crunching around. I'm pretty sure that's all those teeth from the starter inside the flywheel housing, so I'm gonna have to clean that apart. All right, that'll do. I got the idle set. It's idling by itself and revs. Time to clean everything up. Man, this was a project. Well, that was a super fun video to make. It took forever, over a week and 4 different days, but I was able to get that bus running. But that was a job well done. If you like these videos, make sure you're subscribed. Leave a nice comment down below if you want to talk, and I'll see you on the next episode of Roadside Rescue. Check it out right here. I'll see you there.